Heading into the final 2 trading weeks of the year, it's going to be all about follow through post-Fed. Will we see the participation that is needed? We get more inflation data as well with Q3 GDP, with November PCE numbers coming through. It's your week ahead preview right now. Let's jump right into things. We'll go through to Tuesday to kick things off. Tuesday, we're going to get the biggest batch of earnings coming through for the week. Pre-market, Fuel Cell, one of the clean energy names, going to report on Tuesday. Also, we'll get numbers from General Mills, given that staples specifically have been relatively strong. GIS going to be an interesting report. Multiple interesting notes recently on Fuel Cell as well. The first one going to point towards the short percentage that is declining heading into earnings. The second, also a positive note in relation to the Inflation Reduction Act. Remember, this is a clean energy name, so set to benefit from some of the stimulus and funding that came through. After the close, then, more notable names to deal with. FedEx, Nike coming through with their report, and also BlackBerry set to report earnings. A recent note from Bank of America points to the possibility of a strong report coming through for Nike, but it could hinge all on North America. BlackBerry could provide a tradable move coming up on Wednesday. Recent analyst moves have actually been to the upside on BlackBerry, pointing to their recent move to cybersecurity and the Internet of Things. All right, on to Wednesday we go. The economic calendar takes focus once again. Coming up at 10 o'clock, we get the CB consumer confidence number along with existing home sales. In November, we saw the market react to this number. The Conference Board's consumer confidence index actually declined to 100.2 last month versus 102.2 in October. That was the first sign that we saw of the economic slowdown that is currently taking place. On the earnings front then, coming up after the market closes, we'll get the biggest name, and that's going to be in the chip group. Micron is set to report earnings. Recent analyst moves in the group have all been to the downside and have all pointed to slowing demand to come. Deutsche Bank with a recent negative note on Micron specifically, saying heading into earnings, they downgraded the stock to hold from buy, suggesting further downside to come for price in Micron shares. Both Thursday and Friday will be can't-miss trading sessions then as we get the biggest economic releases of the week. Starting on Thursday, we're going to get the final GDP reading for Q3 coming through at 8:30, along with the final Q3 PCE reading as well, again at 8:30. We saw a negative reaction, if you remember, back in November on the second reading that showed the U.S. economy actually grew at a faster pace than expected. Markets overall will be looking for a negative print here as the Fed continues its fight on inflation. All right, that brings us to Friday and the final trading session before the Christmas break. Focus will begin once again in the pre-market. We get personal spending and income for November. We also get durable goods, the index reading for November as well. Both market moving events alongside, again, the November PCE index reading, the more closely watched inflation figure for the Fed. Last month, we saw the reading come in lower than expected for the first time in months, leading the market very much higher, indicating that some of the work the Fed has been doing with the rate hikes we've received so far this year are actually starting to do their job. The final number before the Christmas break then comes at 10 a.m. Michigan Consumer Sentiment reading for November. Make sure you're with us for that. Remember, Monday the 26th then is a market holiday as we observe the Christmas holiday from the Saturday. From everyone here at Trader TV Live, happy holidays. All the best with trading in 2023.